I'll never forget the day Patricia Henderson showed up at my door. Her face was twisted with self-righteous fury. She was waving a stack of photos in my face like she was serving a high-stakes warrant. Patricia, the HOA president of Maple Grove, shrieked about teenage delinquency and demanding justice. "Your son did this," she declared, shoving a blurry photo of a spray-painted fence at me. "Residents saw him loitering. I demand immediate action and full restitution." I leaned against the doorframe, looking at her perfectly pressed blazer and the HOA badge that gleamed like a sheriff's star. I let her rant for 30 seconds about community standards. Then I spoke. "You might want to check the security footage first, Patricia." The way her confidence faltered for just 1 second? It was almost worth the harassment. Almost. My son Jake is 16. He's the quiet type. While other kids are out partying, Jake is at the kitchen table with a sketchbook or an AP textbook. But Patricia didn't care about the truth. She'd appointed herself judge, jury, and executioner for the recent graffiti at the community park. 3 neighbors saw a teen in a black hoodie and a backpack, she announced. "That's suspicious behavior, Mr. Thompson." I pointed out that half the teens in Texas own black hoodies. Patricia didn't blink. She told me the board was voting on sanctions Thursday. "Minimum $5,000 fine," she smirked. "And it goes on his permanent HOA record." I didn't even know we had permanent HOA records. But by Tuesday, the whispers started. Neighbors gave us sideways glances. Jake came home from school looking defeated. Even his own mother asked him if he did it. That was the moment. Patricia hadn't just made a mistake, she was railroading my kid. I spent Wednesday night reviewing our home security footage. Jake was exactly where he said he was, in his room, working on a project. He never left the house. But then, I remembered, the HOA had installed high-definition cameras at the community park 2 years ago. I called Robert, the park maintenance supervisor. He'd already pulled the footage for an insurance claim. "Give me an hour," he said. "I'll email you the clips." When the email arrived, I stopped breathing for a second. The footage was crystal clear. 3 teenagers at the park wall. Cans of spray paint. Laughing. The leader of the group, the one tagging the wall with the most enthusiasm, was none other than Bradley Henderson. Patricia Esson. I watched it 3 times. The timestamp was 7:43 p.m. The exact time Patricia claimed Jake was loitering. I downloaded the file to a USB drive and prepared for war. The HOA meeting was standing room only. Patricia had drummed up so much outrage that half the neighborhood showed up for the public shaming. She sat at the head table, flanked by 4 board members wearing matching pins. Like a suburban mafia. She struck the gavel with unnecessary force. "As you know, our community was violated," she began, her voice dripping with false concern. "After an extensive investigation, we have identified the perpetrator." She produced her blurry photos. She read a witness statement from a crony. "I move that we issue Jake Thompson a $7,500 fine and 200 hours of community service." One board member started to second the motion. I stood up. "Excuse me. I believe I have some evidence the board should see before you vote." Patricia's face flushed. "Mr. Thompson, public comments are later." "Actually, Patricia, you'll want to see this now." I handed the USB drive to the secretary. The room went dead silent as the footage hit the projector screen. The gasps started instantly. There was Bradley Henderson, clear as day, high-fiving his friends while defacing the park. Patricia's face went from red to white in 3 seconds. She gripped the table as the room erupted into whispers. On screen, her son tossed an empty can into the bushes. This must be a mistake," she stammered. The board members turned on her like sharks. "Did you know about this? How could you accuse an innocent kid? Boys will be boys." She tried to yell, but her authority was gone. The same neighbors who were ready to crucify Jake were now calling for Patricia's resignation. The board cleared Jake's name and issued a formal apology. But they weren't done. They issued a $10,000 fine to the Hendersons, plus $3,000 in cleanup costs. Failure to pay in 30 days, the new president announced, will result in a lien on the Henderson property. Then came the final blow. A vote of no confidence. Patricia Henderson, the woman who ruled with an iron fist for 6 years, was removed by unanimous decision. "Patricia," the new president said, "turn in your HOA keys by noon tomorrow. Your privileges are revoked. Effective immediately." The look on Patricia's face as she stumbled out was one of complete devastation. She'd been brought down by the very security system she had championed. Jake is back to his sketchbooks now. And me? I'm just enjoying the silence. Because in Maple Grove, the only permanent record anyone cares about now is the one with Patricia's son on it.